Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hero Panel Podcast, Episode 4, ASMR Edition.
This is us turning the pages of a comic book.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's sample that. This is me slurping on a drink.
Ooh. Nice. Hold on. Do you like that? Is that doing anything for you?
Welcome to the Hero Panel Podcast. This is Episode 4. We're trying a lot of weird stuff now.
Look, we're in the experimental phase of podcasting again.
Stay with us.
Just hold on a minute. We'll get there. Hey,
we need to have fun, too.
yeah, we've got to have some fun. We got to make this as much as life is stressful right now. Let's just be honest. Life is stressful, and
It's summertime.
It's summertime. We're busy.
It's hot. Can you tell?
It is, and I have a lot of hair.
That you do, my friend.
Yeah.
That you do.
Yep.
Well, I kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was fun. It was fun.
Okay.
Wow. So what do we got on the docket today?
Wow, we're going to talk about some new comic stuff that's just come out. I've got a couple of maybe some postulating some theories of comic future events.
Theorize.
Yeah, we want to theorize a little bit today with you guys.
Cool.
Also, we want to talk about the new shows that are coming up, especially in regards to the Predator and Alien universes.
Yeah.
That's looking awesome.
No, there is some really good stuff coming out.
Maybe a little bit of Marvel DC.
Yeah.
Sort of back and forth here. We haven't really done sort of our own opinions about these sort of giants of comic book industry.
That's true.
So
there's been some big announcements too in the video game front. We're getting a Marvel fighting game.
It's Marvel versus Capcom sans Capcom.
Yes.
Which I think is, here's the thing. Do I love Marvel versus Capcom 2 especially? Yes, I love Marvel versus Capcom.
It'll always hold a special place.
It'll always hold a special place in my heart, but do I love just the Marvel characters more than the Capcom characters? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And there's a lot of them. That roster can just grow and grow and grow. Plus, the fighting matchup is 4v4. So, I mean, if you're having, 8 characters in a single match or what have you, I mean, you got to add more.
Yeah, you got to add more. And we're getting stuff with, like, Marvel Rivals is huge still. We just dropped Ultron. So, video games, comics, TV, movies. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything today, and then, of course, we do have some trivia at the end.
Yeah.
When do you want to give a shout-out? Another congratulations to our prize winner
yes.
for winning the trivia contest we had last episode.
Congratulations.
Ryan did a great job, answered all the questions correctly, and we're going to be sending out his comic book ASAP to him.
And then maybe in the next episode we do another giveaway.
Yeah, I think we should do another giveaway for sure.
Cool.
TV shows right now, because dude, I want to talk about just the Alien franchise in general, the Predator franchise, kind of those universes and how awesome they were. Starting out in the 80s and then going, where they've evolved from since then as action movies or horror movies.
Absolutely. And what's great about this franchise is it's evolved over the movies, comic books, video games.
Yep.
And we've seen iterations of Predator and Alien from Dark Horse Comics, and now they're under the umbrella of Marvel and Fox Studios. Well, I mean, they've been under Fox Studios. The movie rights have been, but now we're seeing them actually produce these films and with kind of some continuity and some actual canon being established as well.
No, I had the really cool opportunity recently, and I know I told you this, but I sat down with my wife and we watched the very first Alien, the Alien movie.
And it was her first time seeing it.
First time ever seeing it.
Envious.
Right. And
whenever someone tells, sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but
please.
whenever someone tells me it's their first time seeing a movie, sometimes people are like, oh, what? Like, you haven't seen that? I feel envious for them.
Right.
I'm like, you get to experience it for the first time. And then I remember how I felt when I saw it for the first time, and you're just like, yeah.
Do you have like a movie, that if you were like, if I could pick one movie to go back in time and rewatch for the very first time, what would it be?
Oh, man. I mean, I have several movies that I would for sure pick across, multiple genres. But, I mean, If I had to pick, I mean, some of those Avengers movies were like,
dude,
those moments I had, that we probably both had sitting, and a lot of people had sitting in the theaters watching Infinity War, Endgame. I mean, I would definitely want to go back and experience that again.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw the first Captain America movie in theaters, and I don't know if it was necessarily the movie that
the first Avenger,
whether it was the movie that was so good or the fact that I was so excited to see that film. Yeah. Like I had my computer, my little laptop computer open on my kitchen table with the website, the Captain America First Avenger website, and it had the countdown to the trailer.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, I was like 3 days from now, but I'm like, I've got that open. I'm ready for that trailer as soon as it drops. I'm going to watch that trailer, and that trailer blew my mind. Yeah. I was so hyped. Went to the theater dressed up in costume.
Hell yeah.
It was an amazing experience, and watching it.
The Viking, did you have the beard?
No, I shaved. I had everything. Like I dressed up like Captain America.
I was going to say, if you showed up with the beard, you would kind of foreshadow
I know where he was
Captain
going.
America in Infinity
his
War.
journey.
Yeah, his journey.
Yeah, nobody knew. We didn't know. But
what was funny about, phase 1 in the MCU was that build up to Captain America debuting.
Yeah.
It took some time.
Yeah, they really,
there were two Iron Man movies.
Iron Man, and they teased his shield in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, it was sitting on the table.
Thing. Yeah, and they teased the Tesseract and stuff in Thor, and then at the beginning, all of that was really, really well done.
Yeah, and then it felt like we were the Avengers waiting for them to form, and because that's what happens in the comics. They find Captain America finally,
right?
And the Avengers have already formed. Tony, Ant-Man, Wasp, Thor. They find him, and I felt like as audience members, we got to find him. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh dear.
But so I'm watching Alien for the very first time with Victoria.
Right. Alien.
So watching Alien for the first time with my wife Victoria, and she's sitting there watching it, and I just kept having that experience of trying to put myself in, because that movie, the character, the design, all of it is so ingrained in our cultural, pop cultural zeitgeist, and we know it. We know the face hugger. We know the
Sigourney Weaver as well was just this iconic lead woman who just in the beginning of the film. And this is something where when I watched Alien for the first time, you don't really know who the main character is going to be right away. You might think,
idea.
You might think, especially if you're used to male tropes and
you
think Dallas is going
to be the hero,
who's the captain of the Nostromo in Alien. But
no, it subverts so much expectations of what action or horror movies were at the time. It's such a masterclass in suspense building.
Yes.
Because as you're watching it, half the dialogue makes no sense.
Totally.
They're just babbling on about pay cuts and pay raises and what do you...
But that also felt so natural.
It felt so
natural.
Because
they're space miners.
Yeah.
They're on their way back from...
This isn't some exposition-heavy space epic story. It's just these guys doing their job, and things go horribly wrong.
And also just the set design.
So that's what I was going to say. The set design, the costume, the practical effects,
the atmosphere that they built.
It's all so unique and original. But for us, watching it, in our time, if you haven't, it's so ingrained. We know what the xenomorph looks like. We know all these things. When you went to the theater back then and saw that movie, saw the chest buster.
It doesn't and that's the thing, is it didn't have to be. It was just so shocking.
Nobody knew.
And it made people feel sick. I remember as a kid when I saw that movie, later that night after seeing Alien, I felt uncomfortable and I felt nauseous, and I was like, is there a chest burster inside me?
Yeah, and of course, as we're watching it, they just happen to have a sonic boom outside of our house. So we're right at the suspenseful climactic part, and I didn't know what was going on. And there's just the house shook, and the animals are running around, and I was like, well, that's it, And then
that was the Nostromo.
That was the Nostromo. And then as I found out it was, it's something coming down from space. I was like, send it back up. For the love of God, send it back up. I don't know what it was, but we don't want it here.
Which reminds me of the trailer that we just saw for Alien Earth.
Alien Earth.
The new FX TV series taking place in the Alien universe.
I'm going to watch anything FX does at this point. They've really just kind of cemented themselves.
Absolutely.
HBO Max, pretty much, but FX really has been putting out some killer programming right now.
Yeah, FX has some really great shows.
Yeah, dude.
They're always very mature.
But they're also really funny. Like, they're really great. The humor is on point. Like, What We Do in the Shadows is one of my favorites.
Absolutely. Atlanta was one of my personal favorites.
So right now we're getting Alien Earth, and this just looks like it is pushing the boundaries of what we know about the Alien franchise, and like it is introducing a lot of new concepts.
Yeah, and we're taking the story to planet Earth, which we have not really seen in any of the films or anything like that.
In any of the
except
films.
for in the comics.
I was going to say, we've seen it in the comics, and most recently, we've seen it in Jonathan Hickman's Aliens versus Avengers, which if you have not read those, I think there's only 3 issues out right now, but man, it's good.
But Aliens vs. Avengers is great. The release has been pretty spread out between that series, but that's fine.
That's fine.
There's
the
so
art
much
is
to read.
gorgeous. The storyline has kept me engaged even between the times.
And it's a very unique storyline. It could just be this like cut and dry, like, oh, the Avengers present day
fighting aliens.
Aliens showed
there's
up.
depth to the story. There's actually
it's a futuristic version of all the characters we know and love, and the xenomorph outbreak has already occurred. And that's what was great about that first issue is it sets it up right away that this was something that happened and got out of control because nobody realized what was happening. And they've taken some of the elements from the story, like the black goo.
Yeah.
The black goo that has been recreated into Spider-Man's costume. It's given him sort of, I guess, like a xenomorph style spider suit.
Yeah,
really cool.
But it's Miles in this story, which is pretty great.
Yeah. So did Peter die?
I'm assuming Peter died. Yeah. That man tried to help too many people during a xenomorph outbreak to stay alive.
Sure. But we have Alien Earth, and it looks so good. And also just the quality, incredibly cinematic. It looks like that's the thing about FX, and a lot of TV series really got to give them credit for is most of these have this movie level quality to them that just make it so alluring and just fits,
it's fun to watch.
It fits right in. And also when you get it as like hour-long TV episodes, you're not just like confined to just like, the hour and a half, 2-hour film
of a film.
We get,
you're
solid
getting
6 hours of Alien TV series.
TV and comic books have always had some really cool parallels to me. Guys, you have to stop canceling shows after 2 or 3 seasons because I miss the days when you would hit like season 4 and you'd be like, oh, I already know all these characters. I know all this stuff. Now we can just jump right into this amazing plot and go. Like it was nonstop.
Yeah. I think of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer
or Supernatural
or Lost even.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, there was just these massive series where you could jump in like on season 5 maybe and not have watched the other seasons and like still kind of like get a new story, a new arc.
Yep.
I don't know.
But if a show's doing well, keep it going. Like
one thing that has me very intrigued about Alien Earth is the bit in the trailer where they talk about how this ship that has crash landed on one of the major planets, one of the major cities on Earth, was tasked with gathering 5 different species from
the darkest corners of the universe.
Yeah. And so I'm curious on what those are. And I watched the trailer, and there is a moment. It's super quick, but you do see what kind of looks like this strange octopus-like creature.
Are we thinking something from Prometheus, or are we thinking something from?
So.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to tie. I think this show is going to tie in a lot of those. I don't want to call them loose ends because if you watch those movies, they're all. They're talking about the origin of the xenomorph. They're talking about the origin of this universe, and I don't like to think that everything has to be connected to a xenomorph because I think there's other life forms out there in this world.
Yeah.
So this show is doing that well and going, not everything's a xenomorph, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous.
Exactly. And hot take here, but I really liked Prometheus.
Yeah.
I liked it. I saw it in theaters. I thought it was amazing.
Michael Fassbender does a great job in the movie.
Totally. And I know it wasn't what people expected when it came out because it got met with some flack for a little while.
For sure.
But I was one of those people where I was like, oh wait, everyone doesn't like this movie? And I was like,
isn't that a weird feeling?
Really cool.
Isn't that a weird feeling when you like go out of it, you're like, yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And then everybody is like, oh, that movie was garbage.
I liked the mystery. I liked the loose ends. It totally just piqued every corner of curiosity because I was already a fan of the Alien franchise. So seeing all of those hints and pieces get dropped around, what it told me was
there's more.
There's more to come.
Yeah, there's more to come. I'm sorry, not everything has to be self-contained. It can ask questions. In a world of
the whole point of the movie was they were trying to discover the mystery of where life started.
Origin of life.
You don't just go out there and just go like, oh, there it is.
We figure you're not going to national treasure the origin of life.
Someone wrote it down. Perfect. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, Benjamin Franklin Gates. We figured out the mystery of life. Let's go.
And I thought
it was on the back of this.
And that movie did a huge thing by bringing in the engineers.
Oh yeah,
man, that was so crazy.
Because you saw them in the first. You see them in the first Alien movie.
Yeah, everyone wanted to know who the space jockey was sitting in the cockpit. If you haven't seen the original Alien movie, go see it. But that was one of the big mysteries when they get on
this thing.
Yeah, he was this giant creature sitting in its
cockpit chair thing. Yeah.
We didn't even know.
No.
But you'll find out if you watch the movies.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Now, to be fair, I know you love the alien stuff. That is your thing.
I love it.
I was a Predator guy.
Yeah, I'm old.
Now, here's the thing. We're talking about Alien. We're not talking about Predator.
I love Predator as well. Yeah, Predator's freaking amazing.
I know.
And man, in the comic books too, we are getting treated well.
Dude, Spider-Man versus Predator right now is insane.
And then next we have Predator kills the
Marvel Universe. Yeah,
those are going to be some good covers.
I'm excited.
Have you seen them? I've
seen a few. I've seen a few that they look really, really good.
Oh, they're good. All right.
Oh yeah, they look really, really good.
I mean, really, that movie just has so many iconic Arnold lines.
Sure.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where that comes from.
You ugly son of a bitch.
You ugly son of a bitch. And then if it bleeds, we can kill it.
No, it's iconic. But I do like both Alien and Predator, I think, for that time.
And Carl Weathers. Sorry.
Carl Weathers,
really quick. He's in that movie. He's great.
He's fantastic. But both of those movies kind of came from this idea of, hey, we know what you're expecting. We know what these movies do. You've seen sci-fi movies, you've seen action movies, you've seen horror movies.
Yeah.
What if we just went in a different direction, or we misdirected you, or we put some characters in situations that you're not used to as an audience yet seeing? And it was so revolutionary, and it was so fun to watch.
And the creature design was
creature design
top tier, man. Alien and Predator, both, I think they created such iconic monsters, and the look of them just stuck with people for until today.
I'm thinking of stories, as good as the movies are, something like The Quiet Place. I'm thinking about the monsters in that movie, and they just run around. They have like flaps on their head.
The characteristics of the monster is something like that stands out. But in terms of the design
of the character, you got to give me something, but you got to give me something more. You got to give me something.
Gangly-legged alien creature,
right? It's all gangly leg alien, fast, little skittering.
Well, and it's also because these movies, they set the bar.
Mm-hmm.
The xenomorphs set the bar as one of the most terrifying alien creatures, and that's why the movie's just simply called Alien as well. We're not getting the gray skin kind of typical Area 51 sort of creatures. It was very unique. The xenomorph is like an insect.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a giant beetle tarantula,
and the fact that it takes on the characteristics of whatever host it has, that's why it looks more human. It gets more humanoid. It's so creepy.
The xenomorph in comic books is we've been able to see some really fun iterations of that.
Yeah,
come over here.
Get on in here. You're on the podcast, Anthony.
Here's Anthony.
Oh, he's gonna go take a dump.
That's Anthony Chupana. And he is about to take a massive deuce. Oh, no, never mind. So today, as we record this episode, Predator Killer of Killers has been dropped on Hulu.
Yes, Predator Killer of Killers is dropped on Hulu, and I thought it was a show at first.
Me too.
But it's a movie.
Yeah.
And it's a movie about different time periods of U.S. or of world, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's about different time periods in world history that these warriors of history are interacting with.
The director, Dan Trachtenberg, said that he was greatly inspired by Pulp Fiction and the anthological kind of style of that film.
Okay.
So that they still kind of intertwine in some way. So probably after we're done with this today,
I'm going to go watch Predator Killer Killers. I wanted to watch it last night, but I was so tired.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't talk about it today, but that's happening.
But that Predator Badlands is coming out too, which we're getting to see. And this is something
same filmmaker,
but this is something I've always wanted to see. A Predator movie from more of the perspective of the Yautja, of the Predator.
Exactly.
A young, unblooded Predator.
Which that's what the predator species is called. They're not called predator.
No,
they're called Yautja.
The Yautja.
The Yautja.
Yautja.
Like yeah, exactly. Like you stubbed your toe or you burned yourself or something.
How many times have you burned yourself in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, Eli?
Guys, since the last time you saw me on this episode, I've burned myself approximately 3 times. 2 of them were serious burns. One of them was just a simple singeing of the hairs.
Yeah. Getting.
I need to chill out.
You need to calm down with the pyrotechnics, man.
Otherwise, I'll be like Freddy Krueger on the next
Right,
episode.
coming out with just full scarred face.
Yeah, or Deadpool.
I'll
pick Deadpool actually.
Let's do that. Yeah,
Freddy Krueger's a little creepy, a little weird,
a little weird dude.
But anyways,
cool. Yeah. So, as I know, we've talked about a lot of comics and movies and stuff back and forth.
Well, so So okay,
how do we say
this July we have the Fantastic Four First Steps and Superman, 2 new movies hitting theaters.
I think it's been such a long time since we've had a good Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Early 2000s they were fine, but I still think they missed they missed a little bit of the familial aspect of who the Fantastic Four are. They still kind of threw them in, and even the director back then, he said we didn't know what we were doing. We were still experimenting. We were still trying different things.
It was an experimental age.
We didn't know what superhero movies were at the time. Were they funny? Were they campy? Were they cheesy? Were they trying to be serious?
Studios,
What are they trying to be? And so you have this sort of amalgamation of early 2000s humor, BMX, dirt bike racing stunts.
That's because Fox Studio, 20th Century Fox at that time had been making so many like just action films like that. So it kind of felt like it was just an action movie,
but like a little bit dumbed down for younger audiences. But
I would like to go see those movies again. It's been years for me since I've seen them.
No, I've watched them pretty recently, and they do hold up as fun movies.
Yeah.
I'm a Dr. Doom guy, so their portrayal of Doom really bothers me, but it's the closest we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even bringing up Fan Four Stick because we all know that movie was just bleh.
I do remember seeing the trailer for The Rise of the Silver Surfer, which was the sequel to that Fantastic Four
movie. And that movie gets Doom the closest that they've ever gotten him as a character.
And the Silver Surfer was so cool. Yeah, I remember that trailer was all centered around him kind of just as this mysterious figure and, the Herald of Galactus.
And what that was and what that meant.
And I thought they pulled that off
quite
nicely.
I do too. That movie is much better than people give it credit for. There's just these bits and pieces of the film that totally make it so cheesy and dumb.
Sure. Yeah.
The Reed wedding scene, like like the bachelor party is just why, what? But a lot of people have been asking me, since we work here, and I'm sure they've been asking you this too. What are you more excited about? Superman or Fantastic Four? Which one do you want to see more? Superman or Fantastic Four?
Both, man.
Both of them, but I will say we've had some pretty good Superman movies over the years.
That, and you're also getting 2 completely different things with each film.
Different things.
Fantastic Four is in this established universe with the story that's been building up for a little while now, whereas Superman is the start of a brand new era.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So for me, I go, I'm probably more leaning towards being excited about Fantastic Four because I haven't seen one that I have really liked since the early 2000s when we kind of got one where it was like, that's okay.
And we know that it's going to take place in the MCU and these characters
Eventually.
are going to, and that these characters are going to continue going
They're going to have
forward.
longevity.
Yeah, this isn't just like some one-off project that's like once this is out, that's probably
It's not
going
Fox
to be
holding on to the rights for the Fantastic Four for a little while longer.
Yeah, we've seen the announced cast for Avengers Doomsday, so we know that they're there. If you saw the end credits scene in Thunderbolts,
there's some stuff there. Kevin Feige just released a statement about that recently too, where he says we don't know if that's the same ship or not.
That's what I'm saying. We can never jump to conclusions, and there's always twists and turns.
Theorize all you want, but don't get dogmatic about it.
They know that you're theorizing,
they know that.
and they know you're trying to figure it out.
Right, and it's part of the fun. But don't get mad when you don't, or don't get mad when you do. I know some people that get so mad when their theory was right.
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, I figured that out months ago."
You're like, that's okay.
Cool, dude. You're smart.
Or it's like when someone's like not watching the movie and they're just trying to guess the ending the whole time.
Oh, God.
I just want to be like, hey, relax.
Just calm down. It's like that. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
But so James Gunn also has really been talking about this too, where people are like, "Hey, we're gonna pit. We're pitting Superman versus the Fantastic Four. Like, oh, it's gonna be a battle in the cinema." And James is like, "No, like I love my Marvel people. I love my DC people." when one works, everybody works. Like when one's doing well, everybody's doing well. Like let's support both of these franchises.
Yeah, superhero movies as a genre.
As a genre, need to step it up and do better and do good things, and they are. Like let's be encouraging to both.
People have been talking. People have been saying some negative things.
Some very negative things for no reason because the movies aren't out yet.
And let's just be clear, I want to speak for both of us, but we love all the movies, and we pretty much find something we like out of almost every project.
Yeah, I think I can count on maybe one hand movies in general that I've been like, no, that wouldn't. I have nothing really good to say about it. And guess what? I don't like to talk about those films.
Yeah, but I also still appreciate the time and the work and the effort and the initial vision. There was always an initial vision for the film,
and there's always something that fell apart, like behind the scenes or whatever.
It's generally, the big studio or something. But hey, what matters is that the people who made the film also were there for it. There were jobs.
Yeah.
And,
And I'm sorry, guys, just as a quick tangential thing, if you don't like a project or you don't like an actor or you don't like a director or whatever, just keep it like...
That's fine.
It's fine. It's totally fine. But roasting them online, threatening actors for taking a job, it's a job.
Yeah.
They're doing work to get money. Like that's what they're not also, ruining your favorite character.
Yeah, it's also not like
because they hate you.
It's also not like groundbreaking if you like don't like something.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. For the most part, a lot of these things, for instance, I was talking with someone and they were like, I don't want them to make more Alien and Predator stuff. I liked the mystery that they had in the original films. I'm like, that's great.
Great. You don't have to watch them.
I'm like, you actually don't have to watch those at all. You can just keep that as
your personal thing.
Don't have to acknowledge sequels. You don't have to watch the Disney remakes of your original movies.
Not at all.
The original animation isn't going anywhere. It's still going to be around. They're not replacing what you love. So, just look over it really quick.
Exactly.
And that's fine because someone is going to like it. And that should make you happy that somebody is enjoying it.
If you like it or not.
Some audience members are also more casual viewers.
Right.
Not everyone is a big Marvel head or DC head and knows who these characters are and how they all interconnect with one another.
Just a little bit bigger than an individual. And that's okay. That's how we make big art.
And that's what these universes are about, though. They're about inclusivity and opening things up and bringing people in and trying new things. It's okay to try new things. I know it can be a little bit scary, but sometimes we try new things and it doesn't always work.
So DC versus Marvel, I think that argument's always been moot to me.
Sure.
Enjoy both. Enjoy characters. Enjoy stories.
You can be a fan of.
You can be a fan of more than one.
Yeah, you can love more characters from DC than you do from Marvel. Vice versa.
I was about to say I used to use this argument as a young comic book fan. I was always like, oh well, Marvel's more lighthearted and funny, and DC's more like serious and grounded. And like they're not. They're not.
Depends on what you're reading.
It depends on the story you're reading. You know what I'm thinking of as a young comic book reader? Spider-Man and Batman.
Yeah.
Because those are the two main flagship characters. But if you really read DC...
Teen Titans is hilarious.
It's hilarious.
They're an eclectic group of teens all working together.
Harley Quinn.
Kid Flash is hilarious all the time.
And then in Marvel, you've got like Ghost Rider and the Punisher. Like you have darker, Moon Knight. These characters that are not lighthearted at all. So it just really depends on what you're reading, what you like, and there's writers from both companies that are making amazing stories, especially right now.
Like I would say for myself, I love Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
I know more about Marvel characters, and I can think of more Marvel characters off my head and their backstories and how the different story arcs have connected over the past more than with DC. But that doesn't mean that.
Well, it's because DC reboots itself every 5-10 years.
That too, and DC also tends to go on the side of a little bit more complex storytelling.
They do, but they also play fast and loose with continuity.
Right, like when you read Crisis on Infinite Earths, like that's I wouldn't be like, hey, you're new to comic books.
Casual read.
Yeah,
Crisis.
Read Crisis.
Read Final Crisis. Just throw a Grant Morrison book in.
You're like, what?
I have no idea what's happening. And I tried that. I mean, because as a young reader, I'd go to the library and I'd pick up a book and I'd be like, I read this comic and I'll figure it out. Sometimes, you do need the context of what's going on to really fully enjoy it.
Sure. I would say that, something we should touch on is Marvel and DC crossovers in comic books. Yeah.
Because that's happening.
It's happening.
Marvel and DC for the first time in over 20 No, more than that.
Gosh, I mean, since like the mid '90s.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
So
I think that was kind of the last crossover.
the
Somewhere
last
in
big
maybe
crossover in
95.
Marvel and
97,
DC are
maybe.
crossing over their characters again, and we just got announced the first one that it's going to be, which is
Batman versus
and
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Is it Batman and Deadpool?
It's
or
Batman
is
and
it versus?
Deadpool. I don't know. I think it's Batman and Deadpool at the moment.
Yeah, they're gonna fight.
They're gonna have to.
You
fight.
know, they
Yeah,
do
they're
that
gonna have to
classic
fight.
like two heroes
Meeting for the first
up,
time,
and
then
there's some sort of
fighting.
disagreement where they misunderstand each other, but then really they're on the same side.
And who's writing that? Do you remember?
No, but
I think it's Zeb Wells.
Zeb Wells.
think
Okay,
it's Zeb Wells.
He did some Spider-Man, right?
He did.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it good?
Nah.
Okay.
Not in my opinion, but
right.
that's okay.
That's okay.
There's good stuff in it. There's fun stuff.
You might
in
like
it.
Zeb Wells,
If
and
you like
so
Zeb Wells,
it's going to be right up your alley.
That's great. And you know what? He's written other things besides Spider-Man that I've really enjoyed. Okay. So if he grabs Batman and Deadpool and does a great job, I'm very excited to see it because
For them to give him the reins on that
is a pretty huge deal.
Yeah.
The Marvel team working on Deadpool, it's going to be Zeb Wells, writers Zeb Wells and Greg Capullo.
And then for DC, it's going to be Grant Morrison, who's a prolific writer,
Incredible writer.
and Dan Mora.
Yeah.
who
Oh my
is
God.
he's very popular right now.
Yes,
you can
huge.
find series that he's working on currently on the shelves in our shop.
All four of those guys, I mean, massively talented.
And Grant Morrison's no stranger
Yeah.
to DC Comics. I mean, he has
No
just,
stranger to Batman.
He's no stranger to Batman. He has lived in that zone for a long time, so it is in good hands.
Yeah,
with
we're in
him.
good hands with.
Same with Dan Mora and Greg Capullo. I mean, really both. I mean, easily your favorite artists if you're into comic books.
So yeah, I know we've talked about kind of favorite writers or writers that we've enjoyed over the years. Who's one of your favorite like illustrators, either cover art or?
So
We were just talking
lately I've been making a whole fuss about Liber Mijo. I really like his artwork.
Liber Mijo.
I really like his artwork. I think of him as sort of this dark, kind of like a little bit gothic Alex Ross, where he has like
Alex Ross has those smooth, almost watercolor paint, not watercolor, but like smooth
there's this
oil
sense
paintings.
of realism to his characters and. Anyways, I've just really I really have fallen for his
But
work.
Liber Mijo really has that detail work that he does. I know there was a recently a Spider-Man cover.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and we were talking about
And that they actually made the cover like his suit into the Spider-Man game.
Yes, the Spider-Man 2 game.
Yeah, somebody modded that suit into the game, which is I think he commented on it or something. He's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, exactly. And it was funny because we were just talking about it today or the other day.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I have my thoughts about Bunchy.
And I was like, I think it's cool. And then I go home and it's like, oh, it's been modded into the game.
It's been modded into the game. Yeah. But no, Liber Mijo's an incredible artist. I've been.
And now we're seeing more and more of him now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with the Epitaphs of the Abyss, he's been doing a lot of the A covers for that series.
Yep.
And then, just Marvel and DC, he's going to do Bring on the Bad Guys.
Bring on the Bad Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, those covers look so good.
He's got a good Doom cover.
You
that's
know
coming
I'm
out
picking
that.
up that Doom cover.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
it.
But yeah, I would say Liber Mijo is my guy right now, and then I do really like Greg Capullo as well. It's been a while since I've read some. I know he did Wolverine's Revenge recently, and then otherwise, like he's been kind of like
Greg Capullo is just really solid. He looks like when you pick up his art, it's a comic book.
Yeah.
You know that's a comic book, and you know those are comic book characters, and in the best possible way. Like that is what iconic comic book characters can look like.
Yeah, and he's great with his visual storytelling as well. The action's always very clear.
Clear
You
and
can
clean.
understand what's happening in all the
Doesn't
panels.
get too messy.
No.
Yeah, I think right now for me, I have absolutely been loving Alessandro Cappuccio.
Oh, okay.
Alessandro Cappuccio has been crushing it for me.
What's some of the work?
And he started off working with Jed MacKay in Moon Knight, or that's where I not started off, but like I started reading him and really loving his art. And if you haven't read the Jed MacKay Moon Knight run, holy crap, it's incredible. And it really stems. Yes, the writing is good. That art is incredible.
Which Moon Knight run is it? Because I know there's the core Moon Knight series, and there was Fist of Khonshu.
No, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing.
thing.
So you start with Moon Knight, and then after Blood Hunt, it goes into Fist of Khonshu because it's a different. It's the same story, but it's a little bit different. But start from the beginning. Start from I think it's early 2021, 22, something like that. Phenomenal. So I started with him now, but now Alessandro Cappuccio is doing Ultimate Wolverine.
You know who that brings to mind as well, and I would say it might be second place for me right now is David Finch.
Oh, David Finch.
Yeah, so especially I'm in the midst of reading New Avengers.
Yeah,
and he's all over that series. And
his stuff with Sentry is great.
Yeah, and he just has like the way he draws the heroes is, you know, I've described this before, but it's the way I imagine them in my mind.
Yeah.
And when he does those full page spreads of, you know, them showing up to the scene,
charging at the enemy,
you know, or whenever they're revealing someone, they just look big and powerful and cinematic to me.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
Anyways, what do you think? Should we move on to some trivia?
I think it's time for a little bit of Mobius Chair trivia.
All right.
So it is my turn this week to ask the questions.
This may look like a simple chair, but it's actually a Mobius chair.
Once sitting in it, it contains all the knowledge of the entire universe and multiverse.
It's not comfortable, but
no,
I do know everything.
But you know what? Knowing everything probably isn't really comfortable either. I have learned that in my 34 years of existence, that the more I know, probably usually the less happy I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in the world we live in today. But yeah. All right. So this is Mobius Chair Trivia, Universal Knowledge Edition. Eli, who is the leader of the Orange Lantern Corps? Bonus question, what emotion does the Orange Lantern Corps harness?
The leader of the Orange... I don't know that one. I don't know. I don't know the Orange Lantern.
Orange Lantern?
But I will guess what emotion it is.
Please.
I'm going to guess...
You guys know out there? If you know out there, type it in.
I know.
Send it in the comments.
I know what yellow is. I know what green is. I'm going to go with... I know what red is. Is it sadness? Sadness?
No, sadness did just recently get an avatar or a lantern ring, sorrow. But orange is avarice or greed.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah, and their
avarice.
Yeah, avarice.
I would not have guessed that.
Their leader is a being known as Larfleeze.
Nope.
Larfleeze. Yeah. Nope. Okay. So we started off real hard. Hopefully we go easier. I decided to switch it up this time and start off with really hard.
This is what I was saying earlier about knowing, a little bit more about and like Marvel things, and then with DC, I'm just like, whoa, Green Lantern territory.
Hell.
I'm like, I know that Blackest Night happened one time.
Well, you're lucky. The next two questions are Marvel related, so you're going to be good.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That's cool.
So the next question,
I'm having fun.
Number 2 is, what planet is the Silver Surfer from?
Oh my God. The fucking silver. I'm sorry. The silver planet. Planet Silver. And Garbopolis 5.
Planet not got eaten by Galactus once.
Planet Metallico.
No. Zenla. Zenla is where the Silver Surfer is from, with his love, Shalabal, and his name, Norin Rad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zenla. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I just remembered.
It's Zenla.
Dude, whoa. That was deeply buried.
Yeah, fun fact, one of the only planets that Galactus can travel to safely, and they're not afraid of him.
Okay, because
the Silver Surfer A earned Galactus's respect as his herald. B, because Galactus swore he would never destroy Zenla because of the Surfer's sacrifice.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
okay, Zenla. Locking that in.
All right, last one. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got this. This is an MCU trivia question.
Okay.
So it's also, but it's also in the comics. What is the name of the space prison in Guardians of the Galaxy?
The space prison. Oh gosh.
All right, and I'll give you a hint. I do have a hint for you for this one. It involves something that you use when you make pottery.
Deep, dark, inescapable prison.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, knew it.
The prison in Guardians of the Galaxy, and also the first focal point that gets destroyed in the Annihilation Wave, is called the Kiln.
The kiln, okay.
The kiln.
I get it.
Yeah. The kiln.
That is a pottery term. Okay.
It is. So, yeah. Well, you know what? We're 0 for 0 on this one today, but you've been unworthy in the Mobius chair.
Yeah, I'm going to get shocked by lightning now.
See, now I did this on purpose, okay, because we did, for the last 3 episodes, we've kind of gotten each question.
They were easy.
They were pretty easy. They're pretty right. So I went a little harder this time, which to me, I'm expecting.
It's a lot harder for me.
I'm expecting Eli to come with his A game on next episode.
Yeah, now
I want him to crush me.
Find these like backwater trivia.
In 1982, which villain did Spider-Man kick off of a rooftop?
What did he say in the third panel on the fourth page? Well,
I'm out. I'm tapped.
I'm out too. I think we did it. I think we nailed it. This was episode 4 of the Hero Panel podcast.
I'm Caleb, the comic book Viking.
This is Eli Smith.
We really thank you guys for listening, and all of your support has been amazing so far. Have a great day and enjoy what you enjoy. Love you guys.